Good day, everyone.
Hey.
We are present here today for the pre-bid conference for civil works under invitation to bid number 2026-004. This pre-bidding activity is in accordance to Republic Act 12009 for the new Government Procurement Act. We are live via YouTube in compliance to Section 38 of the IRR RA 12009. Video recording of all procurement-related conferences for competitive bidding to enhance the transparency of the procurement process and in accordance to Department Order Number 06 Series of 2024. This conference will discuss, clarify, and explain the eligibility requirements and the technical and financial components of the procurement projects, including the questions and clarification raised by the prospective bidders. Before we proceed, we request the Secretariat for a roll call and include the acknowledgement of the base present.
So, good afternoon everyone. For today's pre-bid conference held this March 24, 2026, allow me to acknowledge the presence of the following. From the back members, we have with us Engineer Edwin L. Hapo, Chairperson.
Present.
Engineer Jeffrey C. Samon, Vice Chairperson.
Present.
Engineer Leslie T. Gudico, Regular Member.
Present.
Engineer Lorna B. Ruben, Provisional Member.
Present.
Engineer Ernesto T. Tero Jr., Provisional Member.
Present.
From the back secretariat headed by Engineer Arthur Noel A. Lor.
Present.
And the secretariat member, Ms. Nerly B. Ligarde.
Present.
From the TWG headed by Engineer Dave Herzl G. Palen. And Engineer May Lando M. Apolinaria.
Present.
Engineer Orly Anthony A. Terek.
Present.
Also present with us with the representative from the Planning and Design section, Engineer Donald H. T.B. And of course, we would like to acknowledge the presence of our observers from 2 Degrees Construction and Supply, Ma'am Garcia Juneta, Sir James Kevin Labun, and that would be all, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Since majority of the back members are present, I hereby declare a quorum and call this meeting in order. We have the present agenda for this activity.
Agenda 1. Brief presentation or explanation of the following. A. Basic contract data. A1. Contract description. A2. ABC. A3. Duration. A4. Other project details. B. Requirements of bidding documents. B1. Instructions to bidders. B2. General condition of contract. B3. Special conditions of contract. B4. Specifications. B5. Drawings. B6. Bill of quantities. And B7. GPPB standard forms for RA 12009. C. Documents to be submitted by the bidders. 1. Technical component of the bid. 1A. Valid and updated PhilJEPS Certificate of Registration, Platinum Membership. 1B. PCAB License and Registration. 1C. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. 1D. Single Largest Completed Contract, SLCC. 1E. Net Financial Contracting Capacity, NFCC, computation and statement of total assets and liabilities. 1F, joint venture agreement, if applicable. 1G, bid security. 1H, minimum materials testing equipment as per DEO 11 series of 2017. 1I, project requirements, organizational chart for the contract, list of contractors' key personnel, list of major equipment, omnibus sworn statement. 1J, sworn disclosure of relations. 1K, declaration of beneficial ownership. 2, financial component of the bid. 2A, bid form. 2B, bid prices in the bill of quantities. 2C, detailed estimates, including summary sheet indicating unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid, and 2D, cash flow by quarter. D, criteria and procedure for eligibility check, primary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, status of ongoing projects, and award. 2. Questions or comments from bidders and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entity. 3. Other matters. 3A, Section 99, imposition of suspension of the IRR of RA 12009. 3B, Section 100, imposition of blacklisting of the IRR of RA 12009. 3C, Department Order Number 169, Series of 2025. 3D, Department Order Number 110, Series of 2024. 3E, Department Order Number 241, Series of 2024. 4. Summary of proceedings, including supplemental or bid bulletins to be issued.
Okay. Any motion to adopt this agenda?
I move to adopt the present agenda.
I second the motion.
Okay, it has been moved by Engineer Rubin and seconded by Engineer Pero. And with no objection, the motion to adopt this agenda is hereby approved. First in order of business is the explanation of basic contract data, including contract description, ABC and duration, and this will be presented to us by Engineer Donald A.B. from the Planning and Design section.
So, good afternoon everyone. We have 10 projects for the latest invitation to bid, starting with the first project. Name of contract, completing of road, Barangay Bankerohan Norte to Bandihasan, Station 0+00 to Station 1+200, Davao de Oro. With the contract ID number of 26LI0027, location, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of concrete road with a concreting of width 606.10 meters and a thickness of 230 millimeters. Station 0+00 to Station 1+200 with a total length of 1,200 meters. It also includes stage shoulder of 150 mm thick, roadway excavation, pipe culverts and drain excavation, common soil, construction of 49 canal and other minor drainage structure, installation of RCPC, class 4, construction of road slope protection, grouted riprap, construction of road slope protection, rest wall, installation of metal guardrails including 20 posts with metal beam and piece, and application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings, with an approved budget for the contract of 27,626,940 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2026 GAA. With a contract duration of 144 calendar days, including 53 unworkable days. Size range, small b. License category, C and D. And cost of e-documents of 25,000 pesos. The second project, name of contract, construction of road, Barangay Mayaon, Station 0+000 to Station 2+100, Montevista, Davao de Oro, with a contract ID number of 26LI0028. Scope of works, construction of concrete road, concreting with a width of 6.10 meters and thickness of 230 millimeters. Station 0+000 to Station 2+100 with a total length of 2,100 meters. It also includes paved shoulder of 150 millimeters thickness, roadway and structure excavation, foundation fill, embankment from roadway structure excavation, construction of road slope protection, grouted riprap, installation of steel sheet pile with pile cap, installation of metal guardrails including concrete posts with metal beam and piece, installation of road signs, application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings, For drainage construction, construction of complete line canal, station 0 plus 031.57 to station 2 plus 070. The length of 2,692.44 meters, left side and right side on intermittent sections. Removal of actual structures and obstruction, RCPC, structure excavation, foundation fill, pipe culverts and drain excavation, common soil, installation of RCPC Class 4, and construction of other drainage structure. With an approved budget for the contract of 78,731,730 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2026 JLA. With a contract duration of 113 calendar days, including 73 unworkable days. Size range, medium A. License category, B. And cost of the documents of 15,000 pesos. The third project, name of contract, installation, application of road safety facilities, roadway lighting along Montevista-Compostela-Mati boundary road, K1432 plus 540 to K1435 plus 145, with a contract ID number of 26LI0029. Location, Bdry, Davao de Oro. With scope of works, installation of solar LED roadway lighting, station K1432 plus 540 to K1435 plus 145 as per RBIA, and K1432 plus 540 to K1435 plus 145 with 110 units as per plan. It also includes construction of pedestal of 121 units and removal and restoration of PCCT, with an approved budget for the contract of 13,674,920 pesos. Source of FY 2026 JAA, with a contract duration of 133 calendar days, including 45 unworkable days. Size range, small d. License category, C and D, and cost of the documents of 25,000 pesos. For the fourth project, name of contract, Rehabilitation, Reconstruction of roads with slips, slope collapse and landslide, Benigno as Aquino Junior National Highway, K1611 plus 080 to K1611 plus 162, with a contract ID number of 26LI0030. Location, Compostela, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of mechanically stabilized earth or MSE retaining walls at K1611 plus 190 to K1611 plus 162 as per RBIA, and K1611 plus 089.93 to K1611 plus 164.62 with a 709.56 square meter area at right side as per plan. Installation of steel sheet piles with pile cap at K1611 plus 090 to K1611 plus 162 as per RBIA, and K1611 plus 089.93 to K1611 plus 164.62 as per plan, with a total area of 896.28 square meters. Installation of non-moving drainage geotextile at K1611 plus 090 to K1611 plus 162 as per RBIA, K1611 plus 089.93 to K1611 plus 164.62 for as per plan, with an area of 1,463.92 square meters. Installation of erosion control type 5 at K1611 plus 090 to K1611 plus 162 as per RBIA, and K1611 plus 089.93 to K1611 plus 164.62 as per plan, with an area of 780.73 square meters on right side. It also includes reconstruction of PCCT with a width of 3.35 meters and a thickness of 280 millimeters at K1611 plus 090 to K1611 plus 162 as per RBIA, and K1611 plus 090 to K1611 plus 162 as per plan, with an area of 72 with a length of 72 meters on right side. Construction of gabions for end protection structure. Construction of paved shoulder with a width of with a thickness of 150 millimeters. Removal of and reinstallation of existing road signs. Removal of existing guardrails and posts. Removal of structure and obstruction, roadway excavation. Embankment from roadway, structure excavation, common soil. Construction of concrete line canal and other minor drainage structure. Pipe culverts and drain excavation, common soil. The installation of RCPC Class 4. The installation of metal guardrails including concrete posts with metal beam entries and application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings with an approved budget for the contract of 38,713,920 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2026 JAA with a contract duration of 253 calendar days, including 94 unworkable days. Size range, medium A. License category B, and cost of lead documents, 25,000 pesos. For the fifth project, name of contract, road widening, Montevista-Compostela-Mati Boundary Road, K1491 plus 175 to K1491 plus 795, with a contract ID number of 26LI 0039. Scope of work, location, Maragusan, Davao de Oro. The scope of works for CW1, widening of road, concreting of additional 2 lanes, 2 into 4 lanes, with a thickness of 280 millimeters, existing width of 6.7 meters, with additional of 2 lanes, total width of 13.4 meters. K1491 plus 175 to K1491 plus 795 as per RDA, and K1491 plus 184 to K1491 plus 804 as per plan, with a length of 620 millimeters. Paved shoulder with a thickness of 150 millimeters. Roadway excavation, removal of structures and obstruction, construction of road slope protection, traffic riprap, installation of metal guardrails including concrete posts with metal beam entries, removal and reinstallation of hazard markers, chevron signs, application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings. For CW2, drainage construction, construction of concrete line canal and other minor drainage structures, K1491 plus 175 to K1491 plus 795, left side and right side alternative section as per RDA, and K1491 plus 184 to K1491 plus 804 for as per plan on left side, right side alternative sections with a length of 1,107.7 meters. Pipe culverts and drain installation common soil and installation of RCPC Class 4. Approved budget for the contract, 22,834,000 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2026 JAA, with a contract duration of 169 calendar days, including 61 unworkable days. Size range, small b, the license category C and D, and cost of the documents, 25,000 pesos. For the sixth project, the name of contract, road widening, Montevista-Compostela-Mati Boundary Road, K1491 plus 795 to K1492 plus 965. Contract ID number 26LI 0032. Location, Maragusan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, P01001442 NNCW1, widening of road, concreting of additional 2 lanes, 2 into 4 lanes with a thickness of 280 millimeters, with an existing width of 6.7, with additional 2 lanes for a total width of 30.4 meters. K1491 plus 795 to K1492 plus 965 as per RDA, and K1491 plus 804 to K1492 plus 974 for as per plan, with a length of 1,170 meters. It also includes paved shoulder with a thickness of 150 millimeters, roadway excavation, removal of structures and obstruction, construction of road slope protection, gravity riprap, installation of metal guardrails including concrete posts with metal entities, removal and reinstallation of hazard markers, chevron signs, application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings, and drainage construction, construction of multiplied canal and other minor drainage at K1491 plus 795 to K1492 plus 965 on left side and right side intermittent sections as per RDA, and K1491 plus 804 to K1492 plus 974 on the left side and right side intermittent sections as per plan with a length of 1,328.2 meters. It also includes 5 culverts and drain excavation for common soil and installation of RCPC Class 4. With an approved budget for the contract of 40,026,140 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2026 JUA, with a contract duration of 209 calendar days, including 73 unworkable days. Size range, small b. License category, C and D. And cost of the documents, 25,000 pesos. For the 7th project, name of contract, road widening, Nabunturan-Maragusan Road, K1459 plus 219 to K1460 plus 219, with a contract ID number of 26LI0032, location, Maragusan, Davao de Oro, with the scope of works, road widening, consisting of additional 2 lanes, 2 into 4 lanes with a thickness of 280 millimeters, with an existing width of 6.7 meters, with additional 2 lanes with a total width of 13.4 meters. K1459 plus 219 to K1460 plus 219 as per RDA, and K1459 plus 159 to K1460 plus 159 as per plan with a length of 1,000 meters. It also includes paved shoulder of 150 millimeters deep. Roadway excavation, removal of structures and obstruction, construction of retaining walls called masonry, construction of concrete line canal and other minor drainage structure, 5 culverts and drain excavation, common soil, installation of RCPC Class 4, and application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings, in an approved budget for the contract of 47,100,760 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2026 JA, with a contract duration of 226 calendar days, including 79 unworkable days. Size range, medium A. License category B. And cost of the documents, 25,000 pesos. The 8th project, name of contract, road widening, Nabunturan-Maragusan Road, K1460 plus 219 to K1461 plus 179, with a contract ID of 26LI K1460 plus 219 to K1461 plus 719 with a contract ID of 26LI0034 and location Maragusan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, concreting of additional 2 lanes, 2 into 4 lanes with a thickness of 280 millimeters. Existing width of 6.7 meters, width of additional 2 lanes with a total width of 13.4 meters. K1460 plus 219 to K1461 plus 719 as per RDA, and K1460 plus 159 to K1461 plus 659 for as per plan, with a length of 1,005 meters. It also includes paved shoulder of 150 millimeters thick, roadway excavation, removal of structures and obstruction, removal of existing guardrails and posts, construction of reinforced concrete retaining wall, construction of concrete line canal and other minor drainage structure, 5 culverts and drain excavation, common soil, installation of RCPC Class 4, installation of metal guardrails including concrete posts with metal beam entries, and application of reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings, with an approved budget for the contract of 69,569,745 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2026 JA, with a contract duration of 269 calendar days, including 97 unworkable days. Size range, medium A, license category B, and cost of these documents, 50,000 pesos. The next project, name of contract, installation, application of road safety facilities, roadway lighting along Montevista-Compostela-Mati boundary road, K1432 plus 240 to K1432 plus 540. Contract ID number 26LI0035. Location, New Bataan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, installation of double-arm solar LED roadway lighting at K1432 plus 240 to K1432 plus 540 as per RDA, and K1432 plus 240 to K1432 plus 540 as per plan of 15 units. Construction of pedestal, 15 units. Removal of structures and obstruction, and installation of road sign. With an approved budget for the contract of 2,258,900 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2026 JA, with a contract duration of 85 calendar days, including 63 unworkable days. Size range, small b, license category, C and D, and cost of the documents of 5,000 pesos. The last project, name of contract, installation, application of road safety facilities, roadway lighting along Mabutulan-Paragusan Road, K1445 plus 135 to K1446 plus 672, and K1448 plus 020 to K1448 plus 906. Contract ID number 26LI0036. Location, New Bataan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, installation of solar LED roadway lighting for section 1, K1445 plus 135 to K1446 plus 672 as per RDA, and K1445 plus 064 to K1446 plus 640 as per plan, for a total of 78 units, and section 2, K1448 plus 020 to K1448 plus 906 as per RDA, and K1448 plus 020 to K1448 plus 827 as per plan, and have a total of 39 units. With an approved budget of contract, 11,524,800 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2026 JA, and a contract duration of 88 calendar days, including 52 unworkable days. Size range, small b, license category, C and D, and cost of the documents of 25,000 pesos.
Thank you, Engineer Donald. For your explanation of the projects to be prepared by interested leaders. Next in the order of business is the brief explanation of the requirements of bidding documents, the documents to be submitted by the bidders, and other reminders in the preparation and submission through audiovisual presentation.
To participate and qualify in our procurement activity, interested bidders are encouraged to read the following documents. 1. Instructions to bidders. 2. Bid data sheet. 3. General conditions of the contract. 4. Special conditions of the contract. 5. Bill of quantities. 6. Drawings and specification. 7. Securities and other forms as may be required for the contract. Bidders are strongly advised to read each provision, especially the instructions to bidders and general conditions of the contract, whose special instructions are clearly spelled out in the bid data sheet and special conditions of the contract, respectively. Bidders are also encouraged to check the bill of quantities so that your bid will be responsive to the requirements set forth in the bidding documents. These documents can be downloaded free of charge from the PhilJEPS and DPWH websites. Interested bidders shall pay the applicable amount for the bidding documents not later than the submission of your bids. The following documents should be included by interested bidders in their bids. 1. Technical component of the bid. 1A. Valid and updated PhilJEPS Certificate of Registration, Platinum Membership. 1B. PCAB License and Registration. 1C. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. 1D. Single Largest Completed Contract, SLCC. 1E. net financial contracting capacity, NFCC, computation and statement of total asset and liabilities. 1F, joint venture agreement if applicable. Eligibility documents to be updated. 1G, bid security. 1H, minimum materials testing equipment as per DEO 11 Series 2017. 1I, project requirements. Organizational chart for the contract. List of key personnel. List of major equipment. Omnibus sworn statement in prescribed format in accordance to GPPB Resolution Number 03-2025. 1J, sworn disclosure of relations. 1K, declaration of beneficial ownership. 2, financial component of the bid. 2A, bid form in prescribed format in accordance to GPPB Resolution Number 03-2025. 2B, bid prices in the bill of quantities. 2C, detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid. And 2D, cash flow by quarter. All of the above statements shall include all information required in the PBDs prescribed by the GPPB. Please be reminded that the following documents, omnibus sworn statement, bid form, and bid securing declaration, if you opted to this type of bid security, should be in standard format as per guidelines of Government Procurement Policy Board, or GPPB, in their resolution number 03-2025. Kindly check the format of the documents you are using to avoid being declared non-responsive pursuant for using unprescribed format. Bidders should submit their documents using a 2-envelope system. It is recommended to fasten the documents only at the top, rather than soft or hard binding them. Each document must be clearly ear-tagged and labeled with the name of the document, rather than the number or letter listed in the checklist. There should be 3 copies of these documents, 2 sets of original copies of your documents, the original 1 and original 2, and 1 photocopy of your documents, the copy 1. The original 1 consists the first set of original copy of the technical component of the bid that should be placed in 1 envelope, and the first set of original copy of the financial component of the bid that should be placed in a separate envelope. These envelopes must be labeled as original copy of technical component and original copy of financial component, respectively. Both labeled envelopes should then be sealed in a 1 larger envelope labeled as original 1 of the bid. The same sealing process applies to the remaining original 2 and copy 1. Finally, the 2 original copies and the copy 1 of the bid should then be placed in a 1 final envelope and appropriately labeled according to the instructions in the bidding documents. Bidders are encouraged to read Section 18 of the Instructions to Bidders, page 32, to fully understand the sealing and marking of bids. Follow the checklist of the technical and financial document requirements uploaded with the bidding documents for the contract to be bid out. Absence of any required document shall be considered as failure of compliance on the required document and non-compliance of the bid. Affix initial on all pages of the documents. The initial affirms the authenticity of the pages, that they are indeed part of the submitted bid documents. Submit your bids personally here in our office, or you have also the option to submit your bids electronically. Preparation of technical and financial documents of your bids are outlined in Department Order Number 87, Series of 2020. Sealing and marking of bids is also outlined on the said Department Order. Interested bidders are advised to read these in case your choice is electronic submission. Submit electronic bids to electronicbids_Davao de Oro 2 at dpwh.gov.ph. Please be reminded that your key personnel should only occupy 1 position in your organizational chart. Duplication of functions of your personnel will be grounds for disqualification pursuant to the principle of Item 6 under Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012. Additionally, Prospective bidders' key personnel shall submit copies of their valid and updated PRC licenses and/or accreditation, whichever is applicable. Kindly also indicate the tax identification numbers, since this will be used in the award of contract. Further, on your bid form and bill of quantities, write legibly. Also, if you are offering a discount in your bid form, please indicate specifically the methodology as to where or which pay item the discount will take effect. Absence of methodology, original amount will prevail. Discrepancies between bid prices in words and figures, the words will prevail. Bids not addressing or providing or filling out all the required items in the bidding documents, such as in the bill of quantities, the bid is considered non-responsive and is outright disqualified.
Additional instructions on the purchase of bidding documents. If submitting through authorized representative, it must be accompanied by a notarized special power of attorney for sole proprietorship, board or partnership, or joint venture resolution with secretary's certificate for corporation or partnership or joint venture or cooperative. The authorized representative shall be required to present a valid government ID and valid company ID. Prospective bidders shall attach to the technical component of the bidding documents a sworn disclosure of relations, declaration of beneficial ownership, and general information sheet, GIS, reflecting the beneficial ownership information, BOI, duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, clearly identifying the natural person who ultimately own, control, or benefit from the bidding entity, whether directly or indirectly, through shareholding, voting rights, contractual arrangements, or other means of control. This requirement is in compliance to Rule 15, Disclosure of Relations, Section 81 and Section 82 of the IRR of RA 12009. Sworn disclosure of relations and declaration of beneficial ownership are a separate document. Sample forms of these documents are available and downloadable free of charge from the PhilJeps and DPWH websites. In compliance to the memorandum issued by Secretary Vivencio B. Dizon, dated February 24, 2026, item numbers 1, 2, and 3 states that 1. Considering that the current Omnibus Sworn Statement, OSS, already incorporates sworn declarations relating to beneficial ownership disclosure, and in order to streamline documentary requirements and avoid duplication of sworn submissions, the separate submission of the Sworn Affidavit of Eligibility and Beneficial Ownership, Annex A, shall no longer be required. 2. In lieu thereof, disclosure of beneficial ownership shall be established through submission of the latest General Information Sheet, GIS, reflecting beneficial ownership information, BOI, duly filed with and stamped received by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. This requirement shall be specified in the documents comprising the bid as mentioned in item number 4 hereof, and shall be submitted by the bidders in its bid. 3. The requirement shall apply only to the entities enumerated under Section 82 of the IRR, namely legal entities such as corporations, partnerships, private sector organizations, foundations, and associations. The BAC Secretariat will not be responsible for the failure of the prospective bidders in paying bidding document on time before the bid dropping due to late arrival and delayed processing of the order of payment. Loss of the order of payment and supporting documents already released or issued is not the responsibility of the BAC Secretariat. Always check your documents before submitting the same to our end to avoid disqualification of your firm.
Okay. Thank you for the presentation. To add, especially in accomplishing or filling out the DOQ, if you opt to computerize the preparation of your DOQ, please use the font style Tahoma and font size 11. This is to make your proposal readable or legible. Also, in your detailed estimates or detailed cost estimates, kindly explicitly outline and authenticate the OCM, contractors, profit, as well as the BAC since it will be essential during contract implementation. Should be there be a need for a variation order. We would also like to remind the bidders to submit 3 names through email prior to the bidding date. However, only one of these 3 names will be able to enter our premises during the bidding activity. Additionally, bidders are requested to bring the hard copy of the letters and to intend to participate and purchase bid documents during the bidding date. However, only the signatory may cancel or revise the duly signed letter. Next, in the order of business, is the explanation, the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, status of ongoing projects, and award. And this will be discussed again through audiovisual presentation.
The criteria for eligibility check are set forth in Section 52 of the Implementing Rules and Regulations of RA 12009 and the Contract Profile based in Department Order Number 164, Series of 2025, Revised Guidelines for the Determination of Major and Similar Categories of Work. All prospective bidders should have a valid and updated Class A legal, technical, and financial documents and Class B documents, if applicable. Preliminary examination of bids shall be conducted in compliance to Section 59 of the IRR of RA 12009. The BAC shall open the first bid envelopes in public to determine each bidder's compliance with the documents required to be submitted for the eligibility and technical requirements as prescribed in this IRR. After opening the first envelope, the BAC shall simultaneously conduct the electronic eligibility processing through the Civil Works Application, or CWA, and preliminary examination of the technical components of the bids. If a bidder submitted the required document, it shall be rated passed for that particular requirement. In this regard, bids that fail to include any requirement or are incomplete or patently insufficient shall be considered as failed. Bidders who failed in the contractor profile eligibility process due to their outdated eligibility documents in Civil Works Application, or CWA, shall undergo manual eligibility check based on the submitted eligibility documents. If found to be eligible and at the same time pass the preliminary examination of their technical proposal, their financial proposal will also be opened. However, the committee will conduct second electronic eligibility check after updating the eligibility records of the bidder through the contractor's profile application or through Procurement Service, DPWH Central Office. Result of the latest electronic eligibility processing shall prevail over the manual eligibility evaluation. All opened financial components of the bid shall also undergo preliminary examination. If passed, the committee will read the bid amount stated in the bid form. The BAC shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids in accordance to Section 61 of the IRR of RA 12009 using non-discretionary criteria in considering the 1. Completeness of the bid and 2. Arithmetical corrections. Bids shall then be ranked in the ascending order of their total calculated bid prices, as evaluated and corrected for computational errors to identify the lowest calculated bid, LCB. The lowest calculated bid, LCB, shall undergo post-qualification in accordance to Section 63 of the IRR of RA 12009 in order to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding. If found to be responsive, the bidder will be declared lowest calculated and responsive bid and will be recommended for award of the contract. If found to be non-responsive, the committee will conduct post-qualification to the next lowest calculated bid ranked during bid evaluation stage. Also, bidders with ongoing contracts should be reminded that the committee will verify if you have existing delayed contract per Department Order Number 127, Series of 2018. If you have incurred negative slippage as defined in the said DEO, or currently being imposed with liquidated damages, you should settle these findings before the period of post-qualification ends to avoid post-disqualification of your firm. Also, all requirements set forth in the bidding documents and the instructions relayed during this conference should be addressed and be well taken care of to avoid disqualification or post-disqualification. The BAC, with the assistance of the equipment verification team, will be strict on the compliance of the equipment as part of post-qualification as per DEO number 127, series of 2018. As part of the post-qualification, the equipment verification team will conduct an inspection on the verification of the equipment pledged by the bidder, including other documents to be evaluated.
Okay. Thank you for that presentation. We are now through with Agenda 1 and subsection we will proceed to Agenda 2. The question comments from leaders and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entities. Any questions?
Good afternoon, everyone. So, my question is regarding po sa current situation is price escalation, especially sa fuel po. What are the possible solutions if the current competition of program of work is in regular prices?
Okay, as per DEO Canina Department Order 43, series of 2026, ay na para mga na itong price escalation. Kung makuha siya, matutong pa-implement o dibadit ko itong lipuan sa DEO sa DOC. Na DEO 43, ikuha na nagkaroon DEO 43 sila. Wala na ito na sa price escalation. Naman to doon na big one. Diyan isa yung number one karong concern about that. Isa po nga makuanta na nasita na sa pero Thursday. Mutakil po nang about ang kanin 4.2 big to these guidelines for projects under contract. Okay, kapasahan ito ha. Projects under Malaysia nga kung ibigay nila na before na Department Order 43 series of 2026 March 18 pa din siya 2026 na ni Department Order 43 subject interim guidelines on the utilization of construction material prices and equipment rental rates, material price volatility and its effects to project cost estimates. Okay. For projects under contract protection, for projects under contract protection, the issues, resolution, and or notice of award, any increase of construction costs arising from fuel price volatility shall be addressed through price escalation. Claims during project implementation, in accordance with the applicable provision of the existing government procurement law and its implementing rules and regulation IRR, as well as any other relevant guidelines issued by the department. Kung ang i-state sa Department of Protection, kung ano sa price escalation. And Pictosis pa, this guideline is issued solely to address temporary market disruption affecting construction material price and equipment rental rates due to the fuel price volatility. This guidelines shall remain subject to periodic review and be revoked upon stabilization of market condition and issuance of the updated CMPD. O na instituto mo nga itong CMPD na ito. Okay. Marami siya. Kinser na kanila siya magpapagdaan.
Hindi po may mga ito.
Wala yung mga nag-about about sa kuandering namin kuan sa mong DE karong Thursday, coming Thursday.
Yes po.
Pagtutin mo, magkuhan taon ka na mahatag lang ni o Zoom meeting. Link kami sa Zoom meeting ni about this, no?
Yes.
Kasi si DE ang mag-tackle about aning kung say may buhaton tungkol aning
Yes po.
matagaan man mo siguro ani, di ba din ka magkuhan sila kay sa kang nasinig ang 2 degrees no 2 degrees matagaan mo atin mo na karong is coming Thursday
Yes po.
so meeting
Hatag na yung link.
Link sa tabong link.
Okay.
Para ma-discuss na to, matulong mo okay mo suggest ang say ko ano status about ani DEO 43. Sige. Kuha na natin ang previous. Okay. Other one. Viewers, wala na. Okay. If there are no other questions, we will move on to other matters. The discussion of the following section 99, imposition of suspension of IRR of RA 12009, section 100, imposition of blacklisting of the IRR of RA 12009, as well as the additional reminders and guidelines for the prospective bidders. Department Order number 169, series of 2025. Department Order number 110, series of 2024. Department Order number 241, series of 2024. And it will be presented via an audiovisual presentation.
Other matters. Section 99, imposition of suspension. The Hope shall impose the penalty of suspension for 1 year for the first offense, and suspension of 2 years for the second offense, for any of the following offenses. 99.1. During procurement, A. Causing the delay, without justifiable cause, of the screening for eligibility, opening of bids, evaluation and post-evaluation of bids, and awarding of contracts. B. Refusing to clarify or validate in writing its bid during post-qualification within a period of 7 calendar days from receipt of the request for clarification. C. Withdrawing a bid or refusing to accept an award, or refusing or failing to enter into contract with the procuring entity without justifiable cause after the approval of the Hope for having been the declared LCRB, MEARB, or HRRB, as the case may be. D. Refusing or failing to post the required performance security within the prescribed time. Or E. For the renewal of contracts for regular and recurring services, refusal of the service provider to accept the notice of renewal, or failure to submit its updated documentary requirements for the renewal of contract without any justifiable reason.
99.2. During contract implementation. A. Delivering goods with unsatisfactory or inferior quality as may be provided in the contract. B. Poor performance by the consultant. Poor performance shall be as follows. 1. Defective design resulting in substantial corrective works in design and or construction. 2. Failure to deliver critical output due to the fault or negligence of the consultant. 3. Specifying materials which are inappropriate, substandard, or way above acceptable standards. Or 4. Allowing defective workmanship or works by the winning bidder being supervised by the consultant. C. Poor performance by the winning bidder or unsatisfactory quality and or progress of work. Poor performance shall be as follows. 1. Negative slippage of 15% and above within the critical path of the project due entirely to the fault or negligence of the winning bidder. Or 2. Non-compliance of the materials and workmanship with the approved specifications arising from the fault or negligence of the winning bidder. Moreover, the bid security or the performance security posted by the entity concerned shall also be forfeited. Section 100. Imposition of blacklisting. The Hope may impose the penalty of blacklisting consisting of 1 year prohibition for the first offense, or 2 years prohibition for the second offense for any of the following offenses. 100.1. During procurement or contract implementation. A. Commission of 3 or more of any of the acts imposed with suspension as provided under Section 99 of the IRR of RA 12009. B. The use of force, fraudulent machinations, coercion, undue influence or pressure on any member of the BAC or any officer or employee of the procuring entity to take a particular action for its own favor or gain, or to the advantage of a particular bidder. Or C, in case it is determined prima facie that the winning bidder has engaged before or during the implementation of the contract in the following unlawful deeds and behaviors relative to contract acquisition and implementation. 1. Corrupt, fraudulent, collusive, and coercive practices. 2. Drawing up or using forged documents. Or 3. Using adulterated materials, means, or methods, or engaging in production contrary to rules of science or trade.
100.2. During procurement. A. Collusion between two or more bidders and submitting different bids as if they were bona fide, when they knew that one or more of them was so much higher than the other that it could not be honestly accepted, and that the contract will surely be awarded to the prearranged lowest bid. B. Malicious submission of different bids through two or more persons, corporations, partnerships, or any other business entity in which it has interest, to create the appearance of competition that does not in fact exist, so as to be declared as the winning bidder. C. Entering into an agreement with other bidders which call upon one to refrain from bidding for procurement contracts, or which call for withdrawal of bids already submitted, or which are otherwise intended to secure an undue advantage to any of the bidders. D. Failure to faithfully disclose its relationship, regardless of the time of its discovery, with the HOPE, members of the BAC, the TWG, and the BAC Secretariat, the head of the PMO or the end user or implementing unit, and the project consultants of the procuring entity or of the procurement agent, whichever is applicable, by consanguinity or affinity up to the third civil degree pursuant to Section 81 of this IRR of RA 12009. E. Submission of beneficial ownership information containing false entries. F. Using the name of another for purposes of participating in any procurement activity. G. Submission of eligibility requirements and bids containing false information or falsified documents, or the concealment of such information that will materially alter the outcome of eligibility screening or any stage of the procurement. H. Unauthorized access of the contents of any bid submitted to the procuring entity before the opening of bids. I. Engaging in any documented, unsolicited attempt to unduly influence the outcome of the bidding. Or J. Employing schemes which stifle or suppress any procurement activity.
100.3. During contract implementation. A. Assigning or subcontracting the contract or any part thereof, or substituting key personnel named in the proposal without prior written approval by the procuring entity. Willful or deliberate abandonment or non-performance of the project or contract by the winning bidder resulting in substantial breach thereof without lawful and or just cause. Or C. Termination of the contract due to the default or unlawful acts of the supplier, contractor, or consultant. Moreover, the bid security or the performance security posted by the entity concerned shall also be forfeited. Important reminders. Department Order Number 169, Series of 2025. Guidelines on the accreditation and assignment of contractors and consultants, project engineer. In view of the smooth transition towards the full implementation on assigning only qualified and competent project engineers of the contractors and consultants in the implementation of DPWH projects, full implementation of this order where only accredited project engineers of the contractors and consultants may be assigned to supervise all DPWH projects, shall be imposed effective January 1, 2026. Department Order Number 110, Series of 2024, Implementation of ISO 9001-2015 Certification Requirement for Large A, Medium B, and Medium A contractors in the procurement of infrastructure projects of the Department. The Department shall now mandate ISO 9001-2015 certification as part of the project requirements for contractors involved in the procurement of infrastructure projects. This requirement applies to bidders classified under the following Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board, PCAB, size range, and are participating in the department's procurement of infrastructure projects, with approved budget for the contract, ABC range to wit. For PCAB size range, large A, allowable range of contract cost, more than 300 million but less than 450 million, effectivity January 1, 2025. For PCAB size range medium B, allowable range of contract cost, more than 150 million but less than 300 million, effectivity July 1, 2025. For PCAB size range medium A, allowable range of contract cost, more than 30 million but less than 150 million, effectivity January 1, 2026. Department Order Number 241, Series of 2024. Guidelines on the processing, approval, and reporting system of Construction Safety and Health Program, CSHP, for DPWH infrastructure projects. In line with the policies established by the Department of Public Works and Highways, DPWH, and the Department of Labor and Employment, DOLE, on the processing and approval of Construction Safety and Health Program for the DPWH infrastructure projects, herein are the guidelines for the preparation, submission, evaluation, and approval of CSHPs, including the corresponding reporting system for all DPWH implemented infrastructure projects. This department order aims to harmonize provisions from various issuances relative to the processing of the CSHPs for DPWH, particularly the Joint Memorandum of Agreement between the DPWH and DOLE as signed on October 7, 2024. Guidelines for the preparation, submission, evaluation, and approval of CSHP. In the issuance of the Notice of Award, NOAA, or Letter of Acceptance, as for the case of foreign assisted projects, the head of the DPWH implementing office shall require the winning bidder to submit the approved CSHP using the template recommended by DOLE. The submission for approval of CSHP shall include the application form for the evaluation or processing and other supporting documents as per DOLE's latest issued format and checklist of requirements in the application of CSHP. The DPWH implementing office shall only receive CSHP applications with complete documents. Any incomplete applications shall not be received specifying the lacking documents. The submitted CSHP and supporting documents shall be evaluated by qualified CSHP evaluators duly supervised by the implementing office's CSHP focal person. It shall be evaluated based on the provisions of RA number 11058 and its IRR and other related issuances of DOLE using the evaluation form prescribed by DOLE. If found in order, the CSHP focal person shall recommend the approval of the CSHP to the head of the implementing office. Else, the CSHP shall be immediately returned to the contractor, citing specific deficiencies. The head of the implementing office, upon the recommendation of the CSHP focal person, shall approve the CSHP not later than 7 calendar days from the issuance of the notice of award to the contractor. The contractor shall submit the CSHP not later than 3 calendar days from the issuance of notice of award to give time for its evaluation and approval. The DPWH approved CSHP is a requirement for the processing and approval of the contract agreement. Moreover, no claims by the contractor, advance payment, or first progress billing shall be processed and paid without the submission of DPWH-approved CSHP. The DPWH will only approve CSHPs through a form prescribed by DOLE, if found in order. The DPWH projects shall not be implemented without the approved Construction Safety and Health Program by the head of the DPWH implementing office. Upon the approval of the CSHP and during the contract setup, the implementing office's assigned monitoring engineer shall input the data necessary in the CSHP module of the Project and Contract Management Application, or PCMA.
Okay. In addition, of information is presented on Back Secretariat, Engineer Lord.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to our visitors and to our viewers. Additional information in addition to Department Order 110 Series of 2024, implementation of ISO 9001 2015 certification requirement. ISO certification registration is required to the technical component of the bid for 1I project requirement. Again, ISO certification registration is required to the technical component of the bid for 1I project requirement. Department Order number 28, Series of 2024, 3-strike policy in the procurement of infrastructure, goods and consulting services is still in effect. Notice from Secretary Vince Dison, dated November 19, 2025. Submission of updated general information sheet reflecting beneficial ownership. Information for encoding in the Civil Works application. Pursuant to Section 82 and Section 20.2.9.1 of the Implementing Rules and Regulation of the Public Act number 12009, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act, and consistent with PhilJEP Advisory number 2025-007. The Department hereby directs all contractors or corporations enrolled or applying for enrollment or updating in the Civil Works application to submit their latest General Information Sheet (GIS) duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) and reflecting the beneficial ownership information. The submission of the updated GIS reflecting the beneficial ownership information is required to ensure compliance with transparency and accountability provisions under the New Government Procurement Act and to maintain current and accurate contractor records in the department's database. Contractors are likewise reminded to submit an updated GIS annually. Over time, changes or amendments are made and filed with the SEC to ensure their information remains valid and consistent with official records. And lastly, we would like to inform all prospective bidders and stakeholders that the March 19, 2026 YouTube live streaming of pre-bid conference for invitation to bid 2026-003 consisting of 7 projects was taken down by YouTube regarding a copyright claim. We have taken the necessary steps to resolve this issue and are waiting for the platform's final response. Updates will be provided as they become available. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Lord. Okay. All prospective bidders, please carefully read all instructions and ensure full compliance to avoid any violation that could result a penalty, and for a more detailed instruction and comprehensive guidelines on the key reminders. Briefly, mentioned bidders are strongly encouraged to review the relevant department orders thoroughly. These documents are available for viewing and download of the DPWH website. Now, we will proceed to the last agenda, the summary of proceeding, including supplemental bid bulletins, deviation, will be presented by Engineer Ernesto Tero Jr.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. All the needed information were discussed and explained. I would like to remind the prospective bidders to visit from time to time the DPWH and PhilJEP's websites, especially within 7 calendar days prior to the deadline of the submission of bids. for supplemental or bid bulletins to be issued thereat. Please also be reminded that the submission of bids on or before April 7, 2026, 10 a.m. Late bid shall not be accepted. Bid opening shall be immediately, right after the bid submission deadline. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Engineer Clero. All of the business in the agenda were already taken into consideration. May I know the pleasure of the body?
I move to adjourn this conference.
I second the motion.
It has been moved by Engineer Samon and seconded by Engineer Gudito. And with no objection, the motion to adjourn this conference is hereby approved. This conference is now adjourned. Thank you everyone for coming.